So, after thinking a lot about Classic Plus, I genuinely think it could be either the best version of World of Warcraft ever made or one of the worst. Because Blizzard keep repeating the same mistake that slowly changed MMORPGs into queue simulators. A game where people log in, clear one raid, then disappear until the next reset. And honestly, that's exactly why retail feels the way it does today. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying retail is a bad game. A lot of people enjoy it. But personally, I don't think it feels like an MMORPG anymore. But the real soul of vanilla WoW was never just raiding or raids. Raids are scripted encounters. Eventually, they are meant to be solved. You repeat them enough times, and the magic slowly disappears. The real soul of vanilla, and honestly old MMORPG in general, was the world itself, the dungeon, the exploration, the random interaction with player. Azeroth itself was the main character, and if Classic Plus forget that, it's over. When people talk about Classic Plus, most people are not talking about retail minus. They want Azeroth expanded, not replaced. People want unfinished questline, finally completed, like the missing diplomat. They want unused zones like Ijal, Grim Battle, Arazan Crypt, and some other zones. I think this one, it's the zone of Worgens, Eversong Wood. This spot here, it's empty. This spot here, it's empty. Many other spots. Also, people want some mysteries solved, some new mysteries, some unfinished mysteries finished, some places finally opened. People want more class viability, so players can actually theory craft and build their own identity instead of every class being forced into one role, like Paladin always healer, Warrior always Fury or Protection Fury, Warlock always Destruction, or stuff like Mage always Frost early game, then Fire. They want more theory crafting. But most importantly, people want more reason to go outside into the world again. Imagine a random invasion coming from the Dark Portal, for example. So we have to push that invasion. And maybe we should even go into the portal and fight in the first zone in Outland. We don't need to have all of Outland, but maybe the first zone, or maybe just the first invasions, stuff like that. Maybe some open world PvP event around Gurubashi Arena, like in Sod here. We still have it. Or maybe some events near Blackrock Eruption. But made in a better way and have a better objective, not just killing each other mindlessly. Would also expand the reputation system. We have the center in Desolace. We also have many reputations that are unused. The PvP reputation give very bad gear compared to the other PvP gear. We have the Steam Middle Cartel. It's very unused. We might have new reputation factions that fight other factions, like Steam Middle Cartel against the pirate, the Bloodsail Buccaneer. We can expand the horde options here. They can give options, more rewards, more items, more cosmetics, stuff like that. More you could. I like the keying here, the keyring where you can just put cosmetic items like this. We should implement this, for example. Some more quality of life. Look at all this unused reputation, like the Chandralar. It's in Dire Mall, stuff like that, but not Nightmare Incursion. It's bad. Nightmare Incursion is bad, but we should do more reputations. Like I said, expanding the center conflict in Desolace. Each player can take part and help one faction, and at the end, it's not Horde versus Alliance in that spot, but some people with this center faction fighting other people with the other faction. And each fight have a reward, a chest, something like that. People don't want retail with old graphics. They want vanilla WoW continued without destroying the original identity of the game. And the biggest danger for Classic Plus is becoming too raid focused. Again, raids are important. I'm not saying remove raids, but raids should be part of the game, not the entire purpose of the game. The moment WoW becomes centered around instance, the world slowly stopped mattering. Cities become waiting rooms, players stopped traveling, stopped interacting naturally, stopped needing each other. The gameplay loop slowly became queue, teleport, raid clear, repeat. And if people enjoy that style, it's fine, but it's not what made Classic special. It did not make Vanilla WoW special. Vanilla WoW special, it was special. I mean, it's because people needed to go in the open world, they needed to interact with the world, they needed each other. It had a soul. Some players only care about raiding. They hop between every version of WoW just to clear content as fast as possible. Retail, Era, SOD, TBC, MOP. What do? They don't level, they don't interact with the open world, they don't play the game as it is made. They just get boosted, buy gold, buy consumes, raid log, repeat. They get boosted from the bots, they buy gold from the bots, and they buy the consumes or the mats that make the consumes from the bot. So it became from player interacting with the world and other players, it became player interacting with bots and instances. And if Classic Plus get designed entirely around those players, it will stop feeling like Classic. Because in retail, the game is made for those players that they buy WoW token or gold from bots. They join dungeons and raids on repeats until they get bored. They hop to another version of WoW until there is new content. By content, I mean new instances. They just take one instance, redesign it, change the color, mix up the mechanics of each boss, and we have new content. That's it. But a game like that, it's not classic MMO. It's not the soul of MMO that we want. It's an action RPG game. And action RPG games are good. They're different. They're not MMORPG. Sadly, if Classic Plus will get into that design, it will become another lobby game. Wrath of the Lich King accelerated this shift heavily. Not because Wrath is bad. Objectively, Wrath is good. It's a good game. But because it normalized convenience system that slowly killed the open world experience. Dungeon fighter, instant teleportation, queue gameplay, the world become less relevant every expansion after that. And you can see the result today. In modern WoW, if you removed most of the open worlds and left only instance content, a lot of players genuinely would not care. Bots farm the material, players sit AFK in cities, consumes magically appear on the auction house, then everybody teleports into the instance. That's not an MMORPG world anymore. That's basically a lobby system connected to scripted content. The reason vanilla felt alive was because the world itself mattered. You travel through dangerous zone, you recognize player on your server, you grouped naturally for elite quests, you fought over mining nodes, herbs, chests, you made enemy while leveling, you can write their name on a block note or something, and each time you see them, you kill them or you hunt them or you track them or stuff like that. That was fun, that mattered. Nobody remembers standing AFK in a queue. People remembered running through wetlands terrified as level 12 Night Elf. People remember getting camped by rogues in Stranglethorn Vale. Even if being camped it's not fun, but you still remember that. Maybe one day you can or you want to do that. Maybe you're level 30, you're getting camped and you call a level 60 to help you. And that's memorable that you remember that. You can't talk about that with friends. People remember random world PvP revenge stories. That's the difference between the spirit of vanilla and the new way of playing MMO like in retail or how people are doing with all the bots and because the system of raid logging is very helpful to the bots, and Blizzard is designing the game around raids, which is helpful to the bots and the gold sellers. Also, there is another problem with vanilla, vanilla since AQ40, but there is also a problem in all other World of Warcraft version, starting from AQ40, it's the power creep. As patches progressed, player power increased massively, and while progression is important, too much vertical scaling slowly weakens the world itself. By late vanilla, especially around AQ40 as I said, open world mobs started feeling weak compared to player gear. And once the world stopped feeling dangerous, the MMO experience started collapsing. Quest rewards lose value, profession matter less, older zone become irrelevant, gold become irrelevant and get inflated. Inflation get worse because farming become easier and easier. Gold loses value, and if gold loses value, we're not in a horizontal progression anymore. The world starts feeling less immersive because resources stop mattering. If in early game you get 1k gold to buy your 100% speed mount, it mattered because you farmed that 1k gold for a long time and you get the reward. But at the same time, in later phases, you can get that 1k gold easily in next patch or AQ40 patch. So the difference is huge for you buying your mount. It was hard, then it was easy. So when you farm 1k gold, for example, early game, then you see people getting that mount for 2 hours of farm or 4 hours of farm as a mage, while you farmed for days in early game. It feels bad. It feels like the gold have lost its value. The world start feeling less immersive. Vanilla worked because Azeroth still fought back then. You struggled against mobs. Elite quests were dangerous. Travel mattered. You actually had to pay attention to your surroundings. That friction forced players to interact naturally. You grouped with strangers because some quests were simply too hard alone. And those interactions created communities. If every new classic plus phase just make player exponentially stronger, eventually the world becomes a joke. Like in Sword here, starting from BWL or even Molten Core as level 60, the mobs are so weak compared to your character, because in Sword we had improved gear. Like here I have tier 2 gear and some new items like 2 T1 item and T2 tier 2 items, and I can just kill 10 mobs, 12 mobs. I can solo elites in dungeons. Your character becomes so strong, and they made the character stronger, but the mobs are the same. They have the same HP pool. They have the same everything, and that's bad design for the open world. And once the world become irrelevant, the MMO feeling disappear with it. So what should Classic Plus actually focus on? In my opinion, Azeroth should always be the focus. Azeroth should be the main character. That doesn't mean no raids or no dungeons. They are still good and important, but instance should complement the world, not replace it. One of the best examples of this was the tier 0.5 questline. That questline sent player everywhere, into dungeons, into the open worlds, against difficult enemy, against caves, against mobs in an island that it's the only time you encounter them. That questline sent player everywhere. It's a long quest chain. Even if the gear wasn't the strongest, earning it actually felt like an adventure. You had to travel constantly, fight unique bosses, unlock hidden encounters, gather materials, interact with other players. The entire game world mattered. That's the type of design Classic Plus needs. More world-focused progression, more meaningful PvP, not repetitive honor grinding where players spam Alterac Valley endlessly every week. Imagine improved open-world PvP system, faction war, zone-wide objective, player bounty system, randomized invasion, dynamic world bosses. Imagine taking a bounty quest against an enemy player that has been killing member of your faction all day. You track him across the map and hunt him down for reward. That creates stories. System like Gurubashi event in Season of Discovery had good ideas. Hala in TBC had good ideas. Eastern Plagueland Towers had good ideas. Classic Plus should push those systems even further. And most importantly, the game should constantly give player new reason to explore Azeroth. Open world caves with hidden loot, randomized secret, sub-faction you can align with, maybe choosing between Steamweedle Cartel or Bloodsail Buccaneer, expanded reputation, escort mission, random elite bosses wandering the world, more rare bosses or rare elites in the open world, more low-level dungeons, maybe even low-level raid designed for leveling groups, Karazhan, Hyjal, Grim Battle, a new part of Azeroth. Everything should reinforce the world itself, and even new raids should avoid massive power creep. Instead of only stronger loot, focus more on specialized loot, alternative builds, horizontal progression, and new playstyle. Classic Plus should make the world deeper, not just make the damage number bigger. Personally, I played Vanilla, TBC private server, SOD, Era, Anniversary, Hardcore, Retail, and the version I remember most are always the one where the world mattered. Vanilla, Hardcore, and early SOD. Because the best MMO moment never happen inside scripted boss fights. They happen naturally in the world. Random PvP while leveling, helping strangers with elite quests, traveling through dangerous zone, recognizing player on your server. I still remember doing Tyrion Forging's elite questline in the Plaguelands. I still remember crossing wetland for the first time as a low-level night elf. Those moments stay with people for years because they feel like actual adventures. Not standing AFK in a capital city waiting for a queue or on top of the Burgamer Bank or near the statue in Stormwind. If Classic Crush remember that Azeroth itself is the main character, it could become the best version of WoW ever made. But if Blizzard turn it into another raid lobby simulator, then we already know how that story ends.